just worried where we're going to fit the other United lads in. We got Giggsy.
Giggs is not going in my team.
Oh, really? Really?
You know, football is life with the volume turned up, isn't it? Newcastle, back 4 players, hold Manchester United. If they can, they've got a chance.
No doubt, Martin. It's a fabulous day. I know it's only a year since you and I were sat here, but each year I come back here because I, like most of the lads in the studios, have special memories of this place. It's sad to see it go, I have to say that, but that's progress, but it's a wonderful, wonderful setting. It's another magnificent occasion.
No, it was the Matthews final, which I watched on television in 1953, so that was a good way to start. Alec Ferguson and many of his Manchester United team know what Wembley demands. Not of the talents, that's taken for granted, but of the temperament, the welcome for Manchester United and Newcastle United. FA Cup final 1999. Dismay of Arsenal not being amongst the prize winners this season. It's been a distracting week for Roy Keane, but he stayed on the team bus when Manchester United arrived in the company of Alec Ferguson. They had a long talk for a good 10 minutes. Maybe the manager helping the captain resume the correct attitude. And Ole Gunnar Solskjær, Dwight York in particular, a victim of his own importance for the Champions League final.
League champions, but so often through the years this grand old competition has defied logic. Remember Wimbledon in '88, Sunderland in '73. The first ever FA Cup final between two Uniteds. And remember, it has to be who led them here last season. Goes tall Scholes, a place in the heart of the midfield for him, alongside Roy Keane. Aggressive challenge on him then by Gary Speed. Speed around the axis in midfield for Newcastle today. Safely through to Peter Schmeichel. Such a reliable last line of defence. Hard to believe he's going. There's the tackle on Keane. A signal there of Gary Speed's intent.
Well, I think so, and also, you know, Newcastle's enthusiasm to get on in this game. There was two.
A key figure he has been during the cup run. Meantime, Keane holding as well. Presumably after that challenge from Gary Speed. Steve Harper with the kick, launched towards Alan Shearer. The ball for Solano. Schmeichel, just for a moment then I thought he'd lost his grasp on it. Sweetly struck by Solano.
Well, it's a good strike from Solano, and Peter Schmeichel, a bit unorthodox, doesn't catch it cleanly, and gets it to the second attempt. But Man United have got a big problem with Roy Keane at the moment. He's signalled to the bench that he's got a problem. It might be that ankle injury he had 2 or 3 weeks ago, but he is limping around very gingerly, and he's not the sort of player to be pulling faces and limping if he isn't really hurt.
Alex Ferguson has set 3 of the subs along the touchline on the far side, setting them off to go through their paces in case someone is needed early on here. Speed getting forward for Newcastle. And that'll be the chance for Keane to receive some attention. He's looking worried now, Alex Ferguson. Keane, who is so essential to the United game plan, and how they're going to miss him in the Champions League final on Wednesday against Bayern Munich. But is he going to continue in this game?
And play on with it, but he's certainly not looking happy.
In some distress at the moment. Roy Keane playing in his 5th FA Cup final. He also featured, remember, for Nottingham Forest against Tottenham back in '91. Soldiering on for the moment anyway. There's young Griffin with the back pass. Griffin, who was man of the match at the semi-final win over Tottenham. Absolutely outstanding in curtailing the threat of David Ginola. Headed by Rob Lee down the Newcastle right. In goes Gary Neville. Giggs, Keane. He clearly is looking to run it off. Check off that injury. Neville now. Under pressure. Got Dietmar Hamann, who followed right through. And I think he's going to be in trouble here with referee Jones. He clattered right into him then, Hamann.
Yes, I mean, it's a silly tackle from behind there. He did.
Yellow card confirmed for Dietmar Hamann. Keane in obvious distress. As for Blomqvist, he get his chance earlier than he might have anticipated. Here's David Beckham. Hold on to Cole, who's offside. The Newcastle backline has squeezed up. Bisas in the centre, Domi on the left and Griffin on the right. Hamann, who will have more than a passing interest, of course, in the Champions League final. It's his former club, Manchester United, are taking on. Keane won't be there, out through suspension. Is his season going to be over?
And then they can move Beckham into the centre of midfield with Scholes. It'll be very interesting to see how they're going to adjust in the middle of the field, the loss of who has been a key man throughout this season for them.
It's a very sad sight for Manchester United fans as Roy Keane trips dejectedly off. On comes Teddy Sheringham. Ferguson played his part in that.
I've dealt with it better.
He is a player of such outstanding instinct, and he has underlined that again. Been for the historic treble. Part 2 today, the final instalment to come in Barcelona on Wednesday night. Never done it before. Andy Cole, good play by him. Here's Sheringham. That was neatly done too, and it's Scholes sliding it on to Sheringham! Oh, what an entrance from Teddy Sheringham! Roy Keane, who now limps away to the dressing rooms, will look for the task of reigniting his team's challenge in the second half. This is why Keane was unable to continue. It was Gary Speed who caught him. On came Sheringham, and what an impact he was to make. Scholes with that wonderful pass through, and Sheringham to drive it in. In the FA Cup final, the last of the 20th century, Manchester United are leading Newcastle United by a goal to nil. Bisas was quick too on his defensive mettle. Not the best of appearances though. He's put his teammates in trouble. And Sheringham to Scholes! An aberration by Bisas, and it's gifted a second goal to United. Scholes, the master goal poacher, strikes again during the campaign. Another one now. And maybe it's put this cup final beyond the reach of Newcastle United. It's a real picture of goals. A magnificent season has been for Manchester United. It's 2 down and 1 to go. United chasing a unique treble at home and in Europe have completed the League and Cup double for the 3rd time. The first team ever to do so. First in '94, then '96. And now, in the last FA Cup final of the 20th century, they have added success here at Wembley to the league title. The celebrations are underway. For Newcastle, well, it's another disappointment. Beaten last year by Arsenal, now Manchester United have proved too strong as well. Much better showing from Newcastle.
Trophy that Roy Keane will lift this season. He'll be watching on Wednesday with the rest of us. Last Tuesday morning, he awoke to one of the low points of his life in a Manchester police station.
Alex Ferguson arrived at Manchester's Bootle Street police station at 9:15 this morning, flanked by club security staff.
Sad after we won the league. I got arrested on Monday and the gaffer came down to Tuesday morning to get me. the life I was living, it was 100 miles an hour. You know, I couldn't have carried on that way. If we won, I celebrated. If we lost, drawn me sorrows type of thing. You know, I had no balance to me life. But I'm definitely more relaxed. I've got a different outlook on life.
There was a poll in a national newspaper today, and that 86% those who voted do want to win on Wednesday night.
They have the most unbelievable support. Any other club would love to have it, and even now they've stayed. But what they will witness now is another great moment in this great club's history. Whether you love them or not, they are a great football club. They've built a reputation on a history of triumph and disaster, overcoming setbacks, courage, great players, great people behind the scenes, and of course they too have great support. Roy Keane will lead the team up. Peter Schmeichel took the captain's armband off him when Keane went off, but Keane is the man smiling at the end of this week. Well, he's a strong lad, and it's just as well because he's going to have to lift more trophies.
There he goes.
The FA Cup.
You viewed it, I think he said there. Lovely moment. Unfortunately for Manchester United, that's the end of Roy's season. So the boys will, you know, after a few drinks tonight, I'm sure they'll get their act together for the big one on Wednesday.
They did lose a game at Wembley that season. They lost in the League Cup final, even though it was one of 3 double years in this decade. Manchester United again have done the double, and now is their chance to go on to become immortal in English football history by clinching the treble involving the European Cup.
You had a sort of up and down sort of week. Off the match so quickly, what a disappointment that must have been.
Yeah, I was struggling with my right ankle, and then I just twisted my left ankle, so there was no way I could have carried on. I knew straight away, and it was better I went off and let somebody who was going to be 100% fit come on, and you know, it's turned out brilliant in the end anyway.
Well, we know how important you are to Manchester United, but that substitution became quite important with Sheringham scoring the goal.
Exactly, yeah. That's again, we keep going on about this squad we've got, and that's where it came on. You know, Teddy came on, and besides his goal, you know, played very well. But again, everybody, the whole team and the whole squad deserve all the credit in the world, and I just pray to God now we can win on Wednesday.
Okay, thank you very much.